Today we're making the king of all cakes.
Happy Mardi Gras! Baked to perfection with the colors of Mardi Gras.
And filled with the most scrumptious cinnamon filling.
Oh, every bite is a taste of New Orleans.
And who knows, you may just have luck for a year.
Hey, who put that baby in my cake?
Well, you know.
Guys, it's Mardi Gras!
I've been wanting to make this cake for so long, and we're finally doing it.
I love it. Hopefully my beads don't make a lot of racket.
I think they're causing the satellites to
All right,
fall.
so we've got warm milk here, and we want it to be between 110 and 120. So we're like at 118. That's great.
Perfect.
Okay.
So we're using our ThermoPro. Remember, this is our favorite thermometer. It's so great for reasons like this. We've got a discount. Click on the link, and you're going to love it.
I'm going to just show y'all one more time.
Perfect. So that was a cup, he didn't say, a cup of whole milk that we just heated in the microwave till it got to be between 110 and, boy, you're really showing
I'm sorry, I want to make sure.
You're proud of that. Okay.
We got a link for it. Did you tell them that?
Yes, I did.
All right, so I've got a packet of active dry yeast.
That's actually, we're going with instant yeast
Oh,
today.
instant, sorry.
But you can use active dry yeast, and that's one packet, which is 2 1/4 teaspoons.
And then I've got some sugar. How much sugar is that?
That's a third of a cup.
A third of a cup. All right, I'm going to
Look at
throw
that yeast already going to town.
And I'm
It's
just going to mix this together until...
So it's just, the sugar is basically dissolved. You don't have to overdo
look
it.
at that.
And what that warm milk is going to do is just going to start making that yeast feel all happy and active. And after about 7 to 10 minutes, it should have just kind of like a nice little foamy texture to it. If it doesn't...
Is that good?
Yeah, that's good. Always make sure you check your yeast. Check the date. If it's even close to the date that you're going to be baking, then I wouldn't go with it. If it says like 2 years in advance, then you're good. Because if it doesn't get nice and foamy, then you're going to have to discard and go to the store and get some yeast and start all over.
I think we're starting to bubble.
We're just going to sit here and watch yeast. Okay, look at that.
That smells like yeast.
I love it. That smell means we're making bread or pizza dough or something.
That is nice and foamy.
It is. It looks kind of like sea foam a little bit. And you'll start to see little bubbles. I
love it.
So that's good. All right. Let's go ahead and let's transfer that.
All right. What am I going to do with it?
Well, we're done. No, add that into
See y'all later.
Okay. Add that into our... Now, we're using our stand mixer here. You could use, your own hand mixer or your own hand like Grandma used to do, but if you have a stand mixer, this makes it a lot easier. So now I've got 1 whole egg, and then I've got 4 egg yolks. If you can remember, when you're deciding to make this fabulous king cake, set these eggs out early so they're at room temperature. That's not absolutely crucial, but it just helps make a nice fluffy cake. Then I've got a stick of butter. That's 8 tablespoons of unsalted butter that
hand it over.
That I melted, and then I let it cool off. So do that a little in advance as well. And I'm going to eyeball this, but we want about a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now I've got my paddle in here, and I'm just going to blend that together.
I love it.
I've got 3 1/4 cups here of all-purpose flour, and I'm just going to start adding this in chunks. Don't dump it in all at once, and then you'll have like a flour storm.
I gotta hold on to my beads.
I know. I thought I was standing next to Cyndi Lauper for a second.
We were watching the documentary on We Are the World.
Have you seen that? It's really, really good. So fascinating.
And Cyndi Lauper, they were like, when she was recording, they're like, "What's that racket?" And it was all of her jewelry. That's how I feel like Cyndi Lauper.
Well, that happens to you a lot. We're always like, what is that? Oh, it's your jewelry. No, you wear those beads really well, Wesley.
Thank you. They're giant.
Yeah, well.
Just like me.
Yeah, well, no. Okay, let's see, I just dumped that in there and I got all fluffy. Okay, so now this is, yay! Okay, so now what I'm going to do, it's mixed, and so now we're going to let that just kind of fall like that.
We're gonna switch.
And now we're going to knead it. Boy, do I need it. Okay, now we're going to put in our dough attachment.
Hi,
This
Abby.
is so much fun. Hi, Eb. Now we're going to let this go I'm going to lock it here in place, and we're going to let this knead and do its thing for 7 minutes. And it's going to just transform into this beautiful, fabulous dough that's going to rise and become the king of all cakes.
Woo-wee.
Okay, and just like that, we have a beautiful, beautiful dough. I love this so much. This makes such a wonderful dough.
Yay! Oh, look at that's perfect.
Yeah, it really is. And so it shouldn't be too sticky. It's a wonderful, pliable
make sure everybody
dough.
can see
Just a nice yeast dough that makes a wonderful cake. And so I just sort of use my hands, my thumbs. Don't overwork it. Well, whatever. You just kneaded it for 7 minutes, but form it into a ball and get.
And I've got a bowl here that we're going to put it in, and I want to make sure it's good and lubed up with my cooking spray.
Yes, yes. Please get it
go.
nice and lubed. Okay, so now we're just going to add this in here. We're going to toss it around a little bit. Get it covered. And if I like to, just because I don't want it to dry out, so give it another little spraying right here, just a little spraying on top. And then we're going to cover that with
plastic wrap,
and we're going to let it proof in a nice non-drafty warm area. We have a setting on our oven that we can proof. If you don't have that, just like if you're doing this in the wintertime and you got your heater on, heat rises, so put it up on top of the refrigerator somewhere that's not cold. Don't do that. So let me just say, so this cake obviously is steeped in history.
What is it, McKinsey's?
McKinsey's is a bakery in New Orleans.
I thought it was
Well, it's in the New Orleans area, and so through the generations, people have done their own versions, and so this is our version. It's a lot of times that they don't have a filling. We're going to do a filling, so don't yell at us if we're doing it different. If you have a different way of doing it that's like really really great, then let us know. We'd love to hear that. But this is our take on it because we love New Orleans so much, and we love cake. So all right, we're going to let this proof for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and then it's going to start coming together.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I've got my flour out here. My dough is looking
wonderful. That's great.
So this took just a little over an hour. Sometimes, I think it just depends on your yeast, on the warmth.
Look at that.
That doubled in size. So that, like I said, that took a little over an hour. Sometimes it may take 2 hours. So give yourself enough time. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I've got a lightly floured surface here. And
I love it.
I do too. I just love fresh dough.
Wow.
When I was a kid, my grandma used to make homemade cinnamon rolls, and I try to do her recipe too. But I would always say, Ed is excited. He was like, yes.
Some cinnamon rolls.
And I would say, Grandma, can I have, she would roll them out before she baked them. And I said, can I have one of those cinnamon rolls before you bake them? And so she said, okay. So she gave it to me. And it would start to continue rising in my stomach. And I would get the worst stomach ache. It's true. And don't ever feed raw dough to a dog, because if they go out and lay in the sun, they may explode.
Anyway, so
I'm rolling this out into. So you want to get going with the filling?
So I'm going to make the filling. It is got a stick of butter in here, a good old stick of butter, and then I've got a cup of brown sugar, and then 2 tablespoons of. Is that tablespoons or
2 tablespoons of cinnamon, ground cinnamon.
And I'm just going to mix it all up.
So we're doing this now. Again, we're doing this kind of like our version of this, which is we're going to braid it. Not everyone does that, and I think the original king cake was not braided. It was just like an oval shaped piece of cake, which is fabulous too. But you know what? We're always one to we want to kind of make things extra pretty. So we're going to do it in a braid shape. So that means we need 2 pieces of dough. And you don't have to make them real wide, but you do want to make them nice and long, because we are going to make this into a circular formation.
Oh, it's so good, you guys.
Like the traditional always is. So see how that just rolls so beautifully?
Wonderful.
So now I'm going to
do that twice, yeah?
Yeah, we're going to do that on the other one, and then we're going to fill it, and then we're going to braid it.
Yes.
Okay, so they don't have to
gorgeous.
be perfect rectangles, but you want this shape. Now we've got this filling that Wesley so brilliantly did, and you're just going to kind of spread it around like this.
I got to get it off my spoon first.
Yeah.
There you go.
And this is going to make your kitchen smell heavenly.
Oh.
So the typical king cake is similar to more like a brioche type cake. A lot of people, though, nowadays are doing sort of similar to what we're doing, which is This is probably closer to like cinnamon rolls, and the purists out there will say that's not the way you're supposed to do it. And I know, but we love the flavor of this.
Oh, yeah.
Another very popular filling nowadays is a sweetened cream cheese, which is really, really good. We just did this the other day. We've been playing around with this for quite a while. We did one that was cream cheese and one that was cinnamon, and that was really, really good. You didn't know what you were getting. Okay, so I think you're good. I think you're
I got a little bit more here.
Okay, so
there we go. Oops,
yes.
Sorry, I stole it.
That's okay. Okay, now we're gonna roll this up we're gonna just like they're cinnamon rolls. Just
there you go.
And make it kind of tight because you don't want these too big. Now we're gonna let these after we braid them. We're gonna let it proof again. But to make a nice circle, you want to have kind of thin braids because it will expand as it proofs, and it will expand also as it bakes. Okay, there you go. There's the first one.
All right, roll up that second one.
Roll this next one. You know, we should have a hurricane with us or something. You know, I feel like to really celebrate.
That sounds delicious.
It does, doesn't it? I know, to really celebrate Mardi Gras the right way. Okay, now that's
right,
good.
Here we
so
go.
now Wesley is...
I'm going to braid him. Oh, we'll keep it to go
Oh,
that
you're
way.
going to do it that way. Okay.
Yeah.
So now Wesley loves to do his braiding.
I'm going to braid. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to kind of do it tight.
Look at that. You are a good braider, I'll tell you
All
that.
right, now let's make it a big circle.
There you go.
And I'm just going to tuck these into each other like that. And they'll grow together.
They will. And the wonderful thing about this is, you know, don't stress about when you're putting this together. When you're trying to form that dough together, it may not completely go, and then when it bakes, it may look a little, I don't know, a little disheveled or something. Don't worry about it because we're going to completely cover it with icing
covers
and
everything.
then glitter, so no one's going to even notice.
There we go.
Okay, that looks
All right,
great.
Here we go. Lift that up.
Okay, so we've got a baking pan here lined with parchment paper. We're going to let this looks great.
That looks
We're going to let
awesome.
this proof for like another 30 minutes to an hour. Just let it kind of expand a little more, and then it's baking time. Okay, so this is I've been proofing for about 30 minutes. You see, it didn't. You don't want it to necessarily double in size, but it did poof, as Wesley calls it, a little bit more. So now I've got an egg wash. This is just. I love to do this just because it makes that. It just browns it really nicely. Of course, we're going to cover it in icing and sugar, so you'll still see it on the edges. Okay, so why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, so I'm going to make the icing. It is 3 cups of powdered sugar, and then I've got 3. Is that tablespoons or
what is that?
Butter.
Yes, that's 3 tablespoons.
3 tablespoons of melted butter,
Unsalted butter. Yeah,
and then I've got a dash, a little more than a dash. I like the vanilla. Vanilla extract.
Like a half a teaspoon is what we're going with.
Oops. And then I've got about 4 tablespoons or teaspoons, tablespoons of milk.
Whole milk. Yeah.
All right, now I'm going to try and not make a mess.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Nice.
Very slowly.
Yeah.
Very slowly.
You can add, depending on the consistency, but you want this to be a pretty thick icing. So you just need to get it to the point that it's spreadable. Okay, so now I've got my oven preheated to 375 degrees. You're doing good.
Thanks.
375 degrees, and I'm going to stick this in there, and it doesn't take real long, anywhere from I'd say 25 to 35 minutes. If it starts to brown too much, you can cover it with foil. But the smell is good. How's it coming there?
It's going good.
Okay, good.
All right.
Oh, the smell.
Smells so good, y'all.
Does. It reminds me of Grandma making cinnamon rolls. Okay, so after about 15 minutes, it was browning very nicely, so I covered it with foil, and let's look at it. Ooh, look at that.
Oh,
Beautiful.
the cinnamon came out.
Yeah, so that'll happen. The cinnamon may ooze out a little bit, and it split there a little bit, but that's okay. That's normal.
It's all going to be covered up with icing.
And the thing is, this pulled away a little bit, and like the first few times we did it, Weston was like, oh, it doesn't look as pretty as it did. We cover it, and then it covers up all the blemishes and all. So now we need to, and we'll push some of that cinnamon back into there. But now we have to let this completely cool. This is the brutal part before you icing.
Yeah, well, the icing, I forgot to tell y'all, I forgot to put in the lemon juice, so I added lemon juice
We
to
were
it.
just making our normal glaze like you normally do for cinnamon rolls, and then Hallmark king cakes usually have some sort of citrus in the icing. So he quickly added that back in.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna let this completely cool, and then we ice it, and then we sugar her up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is cooled off.
The king has cooled off.
Yes.
So now we've transferred it to this nice platter, and I'm just gonna start adding this frosting. There's no like real technique to this. You just want to cover it up. And like I said, if you've got any blemishes or anything, this is what's so great about this this frosting. It covers it up, and it adds amazing flavor. So this cake is just kind of just a delicious, simple little cake.
They call it a yeast cake.
It is a yeast cake, as you saw. And but this icing really bumps up the flavor and gives it that sweetness that we all love so much. And then, of course, we're going to be sugaring things up in just a moment.
Oh, we're going to sugar it up.
Oh, yeah, that's what we do. Okay, so now we have pretty much covered. Doesn't that look great?
Yes.
It looks like I don't know. I mean, this is so good for dessert, but I tell you, it's really good in the breakfast time, too.
All right, stand back. I got to do the glitter.
So, okay, so now the really important part of it, you go ahead. We've got...
I'm going to start with gold.
The quintessential Mardi Gras colors, which is gold or yellow, and green and purple. And you want it really bright. So I ordered these. I got these online. I've got a link for you can get these. Yeah,
it's snowing glitter over here.
You know what the other really important part of the king cake is?
Did you put a baby in there? I didn't see you do that.
You weren't around. I snuck the baby in. So the baby, or like a bean, is very traditional.
That is so funny.
Yeah. So you don't know where it is. So
I have no idea.
I didn't.
How's that looking? There.
Yeah, I think it looks beautiful. So this, you see it almost the way this glitter is, and it's edible glitter, obviously. It also. It's so bright. You want it to be really vibrant. I mean, it's Mardi Gras, folks. You got to make this look beautiful. If you don't want to order these online, I believe like craft store places like here in the States is Michael's or Hobby Lobby. They sell this, so you can get it there.
Look at that, you guys.
It's so beautiful. And the babies you can order online. I've got a link to that. I've got
order the babies.
You can order a baby online. You can order anything online these days.
Wow. All right. So I think I have my fill of the gold, and I'm going to move on to the other.
So
I got a little water here to get my hand all clean.
Okay, so then he's going to do, he's the, imagine this, the glitter queen. And so he's going to finish glittering the cake. Then we get to eat.
Yes. Times wrong.
Let the Saints come.
I made a mess. Look at that, y'all.
You didn't make a mess. I mean, it's Mardi Gras. It's supposed to be a little messy.
All right, now all we have
Isn't
to do is
that
cut it.
beautiful?
That
It's
is
just,
gorgeous.
I mean, sometimes I've seen king cakes and I'm like, wow, that's sort of a sloppy mess. But when you do it right, it's beautiful. It just screams Mardi Gras.
Let's cut into it. Come on, quit
There's so
talking.
many traditions with this that you're supposed to, I believe you're always supposed to leave the cake handy.
Leave the knife handy.
And I'm sorry, the knife handy.
Yes.
So let me see. I'm gonna cut
I want right here. I don't know where you put this thing, but I want right over here. I want the green.
All right.
This baby.
All right.
Hopefully I'll get the baby.
Well, we'll see. Okay, now I'm just gonna.
Look at that.
Oh,
Wow. That is a good cake, Chris.
It is. I love it. All right. I'm just gonna hand
on
it right
over here.
over to you. Oh, look at the rolls of cinnamon in there. Beautiful. I'm gonna get me some purple. I'm in the mood for. I have a feeling I'm gonna get the baby because I knew where the baby was.
I got the baby!
Oh wow!
He's in there somewhere. Let me get him out. Oh, he is.
So that means you get a year. I believe. Tell us if we're wrong.
Guys, I'm using my finger.
Well,
I gotta
that's
get
right.
another.
Grab the baby. Wow. There's so many things we can say about that.
I got the baby.
There, you get a year of good luck, and you're gonna have a prosperous year. The story is if you're cutting the cake and you cut into the baby, then you've got a year of bad luck.
Oh,
So
that would be horrible.
That didn't happen.
Well, I'm gonna make sure I don't swallow him. That's always nice.
Yeah, make sure
That's
and
swallow hazard.
And if you serve this to people with the baby, make sure they know you've got a baby in there. 'Cause
Let me
you don't.
put the baby over here.
Yeah, put the baby over there.
You guys, all right, hold on. I gotta get
Wow,
some.
look, isn't that beautiful? Look,
Oh, I don't have a. Oh, yeah, that's a good cake, Chris.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold on, I'm just trying to cut it so everybody sees the
the
wonderful.
swirls of cinnamon. Oh, I love it. And that
Yeah, look
icing.
at that. Look at that. Okay.
I like my purple. It's good. I mean, besides being so much dadgum fun and festive, it's really yummy.
That is so yummy. Wow, that is so good. Y'all, make some sort of a king cake. Make a king cake.
Oh, celebrate.
Make this one. It's fun. It's delicious.
Make Mardi Gras at
yes.
your own home.
I wish I remember how to say "let the good times roll" in French, but I'm sure that somebody will let me know.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, y'all, make it. This is 100,000% Loon approved. I almost said, I gotta keep it. Whatever.
Well, then, yeah. You're gonna go even higher?
Maybe, but
Wow.
oh, y'all.
You serve this to your friends, and they're going to be so impressed.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on a sugar high for like
I know.
half a day.
Watch out! We're going to hop on a plane and fly down to the Big Easy. All right, bye, everybody.
Bye. Happy Mardi Gras.